Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, you've been chosen to save the world. This is Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Welcome, everybody. It is I, the Princess, Defender of Earth, here with my rabbit.
Keep that to yourself.
It's Isekai Sensei-Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
I'm tightening my belt.
Good. And we are continuing our after a very juvenile starting joke from a sometimes weirdly juvenile series. We're continuing our seinen arc, our I Swear We're Adults, which this is not helping with that thing. We are covering Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, which I have never heard of, that you brought to me.
Yep. I don't have any additional information for you. It's just I've heard of this before. I didn't really know much of anything about it. And when we were looking for series to cover in this arc, it came up as well rated. And I was like, I recognize that name and I've never read it. So let's try that one.
I was shocked by the name that this was a seinen, and I double checked it that it was marked as a seinen because I was reading it and I'm like, really?
It definitely has shonen vibes.
Yeah, he's in college, admittedly, but we'll get there.
I think that might be the only.
That might be the only thing. It's like, are you playing Persona 5? Are you playing Persona 5? Not Royale. Royale's the DLC version. They made Strikers. Now they're in college and they're doing a road trip across Japan, and there's something about that just changes everything. But my little information blurb. By confusion by my name, known in Japan as Samadare of the Stars, and I believe our female lead's name is that.
Oh, maybe. So Samadare translates literally to early summer rain.
I also, because I Googled that, and I was just like,
but it can also refer to a Japanese destroyer. I don't know if that means the ship.
I think it's the ship,
or
because a lot of their ships are named after they have beautiful. Honestly, they have beautiful names after things in nature. I guess because they are forces of nature is the idea.
Yeah. Apparently, it's also a kind of maple tree.
Okay, there
Japanese
you go.
maple tree.
Yeah, but when I saw the rain thing, I'm like, there's a turn of phrase.
Oh, it does say here. Yeah, it's a Shiratsuyu class destroyer.
There you go. I don't know. I got the sense of there's some wordplay going on here, but not in a way that I would ever get Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Oh,
but
also a kind of wild honeysuckle.
Good for you.
Lots of plants, apparently.
Lots of plants. A thing of nature. But I will say that the title is very evocative. It grabs your attention. This was written by Satoshi Mizukami. He's written a number of other series and is still writing series currently, though I hadn't heard of any of them. But he seemed active. It wasn't just I had this one series and now I just write one-shots that don't make it to English Wiki. So
you should probably, whenever you do that, actually have the list.
I don't know which ones to say.
So
I'm not going to say them all.
Because I might know some of them.
True. Things to be learned for later. This ran from April 2005 to August 2010 in Young King Hours, O-U-R-S in caps, which, what the heck, Japan? Why do all of your seinen adult magazines have the word young in them? It makes no sense. This has shown up multiple times. Why? What is young about them? Why young?
Because they're obsessed with youth.
For the old, here's the young. Also, very shockingly, this had an anime that ran in 2022 for one season of 24 episodes. So 12 years after the manga ended.
That's got to be why I know the name.
Almost assuredly. I'd be curious if this is on Crunchyroll or not.
Oh, 24 episodes.
I point my eyeballs at that first episode just to know, because if we have access to it. But to get into it, we need to get into my patented Moxie's Mach Speed manga summary. One morning when I woke up, there was a lizard in my room. We stared at each other, and the first to break the silence was him. We are in the bedroom of a young man with a lizard. The lizard declares he is the knight, Sir Noi Crescent, that the princess protects this planet from a large number of evil sorcerers, and that he is here to ask for help in saving the world from destruction. Our protag San takes the lizard by the tail. He's just, is there something between a kun and a san? Because that's what he is.
I mean,
he's in college, as stated.
When you say san, it's basically like calling someone Mr. or Miss.
He's not quite there, but I feel like he's a little bit more than a kun.
I think any one that is decidedly not a child, you can say san.
Debatable. Our protag-san takes the lizard by the tail and chucks him out the window, and in doing so notices a girl who will be important later on. Turning back, he finds the lizard is back. What the hell? Don't you understand? Earth is in peril. Listen to me. A lizard. The lizard says he must be confused, but has to accept the truth in perfect Japanese. The young man goes to fling the lizard out again, but stops. He starts to debate the lizard. Confirm what we know. Where are we right now? The lizard freaks out being held and does not answer properly. The young man holds his position of power over the weird lizard, getting a mumbled, "Please release me," from the lizard. Cut to later, and the young man on his bike is headed to college with the lizard annoyingly riding along. We're told no one but him can see the lizard, and this proves true in class. You must be right, lizard, if that's true. I should see a psychiatrist. You doubt me,
That's
but...
the proper thought process.
Yes.
Yeah.
You doubt me, but have you concentrated on your ring? The young man notices a strange ring on his finger. The lizard tells him he can use domain expansion now. No, he says domain control. Domain control, not domain expansion. It's a really shitty domain expansion that is a bubble. Anything in this bubble, he can now move with telekinesis.
That's a simple domain.
Yeah, it's even simpler than the normal simple domains. Actually, no, those are usually just a bubble around the human.
I think what he has is room.
Room. Yes, without the swapping, but maybe he gets the swapping later.
Yeah, he doesn't get shambles.
He does not get shambles yet. His young female professor comes by, and he quickly uses it, possibly on purpose, to lift up the professor's skirt. The lizard kicks him in the face, and after confirming he saw with a thumbs up, the professor decks him in the face. Cut to home, and the young man still does not care.
Not the last panty joke in this.
No. Spoiler alert. And a very out-of-character thing for me. I laughed at both of them. I know. I don't understand either. I don't understand. Cut to home, and the young man...
I'm glad you have fun.
Yes. The young man still does not care. The lizard rambles on that they must protect the princess and fight the enemy invaders. But I'm just a weak dude. I can't fight. You said there are other warriors. They can do it. I'll hedge my bets and watch from the sidelines. The lizard freaks out. Protag-san goes for a walk. He introduces himself as Amamiya Yuhi. But wait, the enemy is near. We see Amamiya stabbed through the chest by a long blade. But it was just a sensation. It didn't actually happen. We have to run, says the lizard. And he does so. They run for a while until he stops to see a strange creature. This is the enemy, a golem created by the mages, we're told. It lunges to attack, and Amamiya TKs his leg to ungracefully get out of the way. TKs his own leg. Pronouns are difficult. The creature attacks again. He's gonna die here. But wait, that girl from earlier is here, punching the shit out of the golem and breaking it into pieces. It's the princess. Hey, I remember you from next door. My name is Asashina Samadare. He's thankful for being saved, but also still doesn't want to get involved. I've just written out a gag plays out that I'll describe, but don't want to write down. End of chapter 1. Asahina. But in the act of jumping in to save him, he also sees her panties, begins to...
You're not going to write it down, but you're going to say it anyway.
I did say I was going to describe it. Because it made me laugh. It shouldn't have, but it did. I think she asks him, did he see them? And he starts to say... like rabbit panties or strawberry, like he starts to say the design, and then she just kicks him in the face, and cuts him off. We'll talk about it more later. We're almost done. We did 2 chapters for this one because the chapters were fairly short. Though I do think chapter 1 did a good job of setting everything up.
It was okay, but at the end of chapter 2, it's like, oh,
now we know what's going on. We learned about. We'll get there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Chapter 2, we are back in Amamiya's room, and he is practicing with his domain control orb, which we learn more about. But Amamiya still doesn't want to get involved. The lizard says we have a bargain prepared for people like you. You'll be granted 1 wish for helping. You have to help us. We are linked by fate. I wish for peace and boredom. Get out. The young man leaves for ramen and thinks back to the talk he had with the princess. He's like flashing back to a talk they had that we didn't get to see, but happened after chapter 1, but before chapter 2. Chapter 1.2.
I really hate it when things do that, where it's like we're gonna have a flashback to a thing that happened directly before
this,
right? What we're doing right now that we skipped earlier Because it's dramatic or something?
I guess, I don't know.
Couldn't we have just started the scene
yeah.
5 minutes earlier?
It's like you can... I don't love it, but it's like if it's been a while, you can go back and go, hey, these two talked here in this moment. But it's like when it's literally the next chapter, it's like, just pick up immediately, just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Whatever. He says he's thankful for being saved, but still doesn't want to get involved. He's about to leave when his professor rides in on her scooter and slams into him, insulting him afterwards for being a creep and talking to who we now learn is her sister. So the princess Samadare is the professor's sister.
At least he's keeping the panty peeking in the family.
Goodness. They kind of remember each other, but they don't. After a while, they see each other at school. Samadare is there and speaks like they are good friends, and she wants to show him something on the roof. But the lizard thinks it's too soon, but the princess trusts him. They go, and she points to the sky, the thing that will destroy this planet. He can't see it at first, but then it comes into view. You have to know about it to see it. That's the Biscuit Hammer, floating in space above the Earth. When it falls, we're all doomed. The mage's greatest creation. How the heck are we supposed to do anything about that? Amamiya asks, but the princess is calm. Together with your power, we will save everyone. You belong to me, Lizard Knight. Lend me your strength. No way! I'm not getting involved. Samadari then says she trusts him before trust falling off the roof. And out Amayama jumps to save her. But oh shit, my TK barely works for me. We are so done for. But they aren't. They land okay. The princess declares she will save Earth from the hammer crashing down. Because Earth will be destroyed by her own fists. Pledge your loyalty to me, Knight, and we will do this together. End of chapter 2. So I never heard of this series. I had a grand old time with this. This made me feel nostalgic for something I never took in.
It does feel very like mid-2000s.
Okay, you said it. I had that exact feeling. Why do we feel that?
I don't know.
I have one data point that I have active memory for that I don't think you have.
This feels like Bleach to me.
Oh, maybe.
Not in like the exact way, but sort of like the style and the humor and stuff. Although
And
I can't remember
protagonist.
any panty shots in Bleach, but
This reminded me a lot of Zatch Bell, because Zatch Bell is about a hero that is, I don't know how smart our guy is here, but a hero that is too smart for his own good, is kind of antisocial, and is thrust into a situation where he needs to do some big
this
thing.
guy's obviously not that smart, because he's like, how are we going to do anything about that? It's like, my dude, you just found out you have telekinesis.
Yeah, but what's
like,
my little piddly bubble going to do about that?
Obviously, you're going to get stronger. That's how shit works. Haven't you ever read a shonen manga?
He does admittedly start... This is a seinen manga, son of a bitch. He does admittedly start training, even though he talks it off, though, so...
And that was before this part, so...
Yeah.
He shouldn't be at...
But,
like,
you know,
he should definitely be like, I don't think I can get strong enough to do something.
But when you see a
about
giant
that.
hammer floating in space that wasn't there a second ago because your brain just latched onto it, like, you're going to freak out a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But no, like, this, yeah, it made me... Like, I don't know how many other series I took in, but yeah, like, this gave me such early to mid-2000s vibe, which fits when it came out. And it made me a little nostalgic. And like I said, maybe it just reminded me of Zatch Bell, which we should cover Zatch Bell at some point. If you've never seen it or read it, I love me some Zatch Bell. I wish the official translation didn't just stop and have a terrible fan translation pick up from it.
That's the eternal wish.
Yeah, but there is an official localization, and that's what it was for most of it until it stopped being
that's what I'm saying.
localized in
You
America.
want a full localization for
but
everything.
normally it's like, oh, a really good localization group had it for, like, a translation fan group had it for a while, and then the shit one came in when something happened to them. And this was the real deal thing, and then also there's just no official way to get it anymore.
There's a version of the future where AI is actually good, and we get real, actual localizations.
But it can't.
I said it's a version, not the one we're gonna get.
Well, not even outside of that. I mean, this is a conversation for a different thing, but like, it's a localization is a creative art, and the computer can't do that. A conversation for another time. Not in this episode. Not in Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. What a name! Gosh, what a name! Brad, where are you at? I've been talking up a storm.
I don't understand why it's called the Biscuit Hammer.
I don't know either. I don't understand either. It is clearly hammer shaped, but I wouldn't say it's biscuity.
Maybe the name of the mage, is that what she said? That made it?
He's named Biscuit.
Is
because
Biscuit.
He's like a dog.
Yeah.
And like in the way that this is a lizard.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that. But I don't know.
I mean, why is he a lizard knight? Has he always
Japanese
been a
people
lizard?
pick weird names for foreign people.
Has this guy always been a lizard? The lizard?
That's a good question. I don't know. He might just be a regular lizard that can talk, and he's just like, I'm a knight.
But he was a knight. Yeah, was he?
He might not have used to be.
Was he an anthropomorphic knight before? Or was he always a lizard and he happened to be a knight? And this is like a weird little Tea Party situation. But they have powers. I don't know. How did you feel about this? Not you're thinking things feelings. That's way too early. I didn't check in where you're at.
I'm interested.
Okay. Maybe some of it was the nostalgia, but I had a great time with this in a way that I was not expecting. I read this at a strange time in my car, killing time because I downloaded the PDF, and I was just. There's things aren't flavored like this anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe like that's why I say like I don't know if it's nostalgia or it's just novelty out of things aren't like this anymore. So it's like, oh, this is refreshing. You know, these are how Protag-coons used to be for a time. You know, and maybe some of it is now it's like I get fresher with all these light novels where it's like they are nothing flavored. They are a nothing burger, and it's like back then they were kind of like shitty assholes, but like. And I hated it then, but now that that's such a rarity, now it's like, wow, what a throwback, a delicacy. Like, he's kind of a smarmy idiot. But no, I was intrigued. I'm still surprised it was a seinen. I think generally it's just because he's in college.
Yeah.
Like, that was also refreshing, but I think that's just virtue of the manga we're reading more than anything.
I feel like this is probably like someone, the author was like, I want to write something with shonen tropes, but I want to write it for people and that I don't have to worry about not being
aren't children
too precious about it, you know?
I guess, yeah. But no, I had a good time with it. I laughed a lot. Anytime he like that first time he grabs the lizard and just chucks it out the window, and the lizard he just turns around, the lizard is back like freaking Barney Gumble in the bar in that meme. Like I got a good laugh out of that because that gag will always make me laugh. And not even like the lizard's like just instantly back to, why did you throw me out? We have to save the world here. What are you doing? It had a very I want to see the anime because it had a very cartoony sensibility about it that made me laugh. I think that's why it's like the timing. Like I know normally it's like I hate the panty shot joke, but like his reaction to it, where he just has such a like calm, collected face, and he just gives the thumbs up. He's like, yeah, I saw him, and then just gets his fucking shit rocked. Like that made me laugh. It's just like, okay, yep, I'm accepting. I don't even know if I'd say accept my fate, but it just it made me laugh out loud in my car. Both times it happens. I think maybe some of it is just the unexpectability of it. Maybe some of it is just nostalgia. Maybe in not the same well, but in a very neighboring well. It might just be the same reason that like I still like Nice Prison. I think it might just be informed by a nostalgia back before I thought about these things in a deeper way.
Yeah. I don't care for the panty shot jokes.
I can understand that.
I can't quite articulate why it's weird because when it happened, I was sort of on the verge of being upset about it. And I don't really know why, because like now when I think back on it, I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I didn't find it funny, but also I don't really care. But like when I first read it, I was just sort of like, ugh. And I guess that's sort of like, there's a lot of nostalgia to this. And part of the nostalgia is the whatever you would call bad nostalgia, the opposite of nostalgia. It's like, this is a bad thing that happened in the past.
Toxic nostalgia
is like
rose-colored glasses to things.
This sort of thing, I feel, at least in the media that I consume, like there used to be a lot more sort of misogyny and that kind of, you know, jokes at a woman's expense kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know in this case, like he gets kicked in the face.
I mean, again, it's the conversation we need to go back to of like, I mean, Keijo was a good point of that. It's like nobody in universe is leering, but the art is leering.
Yeah.
And in here, it's the gag. I mean, you still get the visual of it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that
reader,
the art in this with those two are leering, but you do see
it's specifically drawn.
Yeah.
But then, like, again, like, not just like, oh, they get a little thing on the shoulder. Like, he gets his shit rocked.
Yeah. I guess there's also part of me, the teacher one makes sense, but like with the girl, the princess. It's like, why are you wearing a skirt then?
The absurdity of that happening in this like moment of like, I'm about to, I think it was part of it. Like, I mean, I guess it's the thing of what I said the last time we had one of these, where like, it's the absurdity of like, he's contemplating that he's about to die right now. And it's like, I can't believe I'm fucking dying to this. And then she shows up, and then you just get a panty shot all of a sudden. And then his only response is rabbit panties. And then he gets punched. And it's just, I think I just come back to the absurdity of the situation, that we had this big serious moment. And then that happens. It's like, I mean, I guess it's because it's like, I mean, you still get it, but it's at his expense. It's on my mind because we've been watching season 3, but it's like Fire Force with the Fire Cat girl, where it's just like what the Lucky Lecture they call it. It's like, I think that continues to upset me so much because she is so upset by it.
Yeah.
And there's no one or no specific thing to seek recourse on, so it's just an uncomfortable moment where a woman is stripped and really actively is like, not even comically upset. It's just actively upset about it in like a very emotion human way.
They all took their pants off.
What? That was funny. That was different though. That was funny because then everybody got it and it was silly, and they talk about the calendar and it's funny because then it's like, we're doing this on purpose as an act of solidarity, and that felt more meaningful. Does it make up for all the moments when it was really uncomfortable that she was made very uncomfortable? No. But I think in this, I think I'm able to float over there because they're usually absurd and then they're at his expense.
Yeah.
But also I know that it's like, they're still drawn. They're not just like, you're not seeing it from the situation. It's like, you're getting the shot from his eyes.
Right.
Like, I don't want to pretend like that's not happening. And
to be fair, they are fully, it's full coverage. They are like,
we have read,
regular
not even counting the arc we just did, we have seen more gnarly looking and detailed undergarment shots. Let's say it like that.
Although that also lends to the fact of like, I feel like this is bad because she's obviously a younger girl. Like, she's wearing like not adult.
I just love that he's just so stoic. I don't even know if stoic's not the right word, but he just deadpans it. Like, I think it's just like, again, it's like the fact that he's seemingly, and maybe it was just the read of it in my head, is that he just deadpans it at her. Like in a very
it's a classic.
He reminds me of, what's the guy from Konosuba?
Kazuma.
He reminded me of Kazuma. And like yes, exactly. And like, even though Kazuma's a creep, like, I kind of came around to him. Like, I don't know why he was endearing, at least my first run through, at a time that I would have already been sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I think at the time even I said, like, normally I do not like a character like this, but there's just something about him that works, and I don't know what it is. And I feel him in our protagonist here,
right.
Amiyama.
I think I'm just becoming more and more sensitive to this stuff as time goes on.
It's so strange that we're slowly Freaky Fridaying, because when we started this podcast, I was so much more like 5-alarm fire, big red button touchy about anytime any of this stuff happened.
The thing is, I find that like
chilled out so much.
I'm not less horny than I've ever been.
No, but it's more specific.
So it's not like my libido's going down or something, and so I'm becoming more sensitive to it. But it's just like, as I'm getting older, these kind of things that I'm seeing, I am more sort of the first word that comes to mind is grossed out by, but that's not what it is. It's like more just exasperation.
You need a smaller word
of like, why do we have to do this?
You need a smaller level word than offended. Offended is too strong a word from where you're at, or how you're feeling right now. You need a less strong form of offended.
The specific,
you're miffed,
peeved. The specific one in the that you were like, oh, that's funny. The rabbit one. Like I can understand the humor in that. I get why you thought it was funny. It's more like there's a lot of times that it happens where it's just like, a girl will fall over and the guy will see.
I don't
and then she'll
like
go, Did
those.
you see? And he'll be like white or red or whatever. And
Have
it's
you
just
seen
like
that bit before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tons of times.
Okay, then I'm not reading the things you're reading.
Yes.
So that's why this was fresh and funny. Because like I'm aware, like we're fucking taking in anime and manga for a long time. You're going to run into this, but this is one where it like actively felt like a joke, and that he gets his his delivery of it, and then he getting his comeuppance is what collectively makes it funny.
Yeah,
to me.
and this instance,
because it's not necessarily at her expense. It's the absurdity of the situation, and that then he gets payback for it.
And this instance is on the spectrum of you thought this was a joke, but it wasn't. To this was actually a joke. This is closer to the end of this was actually a joke.
This was actually a joke.
But I see it so many times where it's like, what are you
like,
doing?
There's
this
nothing
is
funny
so
here.
unnecessary.
You're presenting this as a joke, but
and
there was
know
no point. And
somebody thinks it's funny.
yeah.
And I hate those people. Not in this situation, but like those other ones I'm talking about. And I'm just like,
it's moments where it feels uncomfy.
I don't
it's
know.
not like
I guess
this isn't funny, but like there is
maybe I'm just sick of it. Maybe it was
that's
before
valid.
I hadn't experienced enough of it so that when it happened, I was just like, oh, okay.
Is it showing up consistently in things you read?
Yeah.
Okay, because I read what we cover here,
But also
or what's
just
in Jump, and that generally doesn't
misogynistic
happen.
jokes in general.
You're reading Isekai.
I know.
It's going to be misogynistic,
and that's
which explains why you are. I guess this is my doctor's decree of is like you are sick of misogyny in manga because all of the manga you read has a thread of misogyny in it because it's Isekai, and Isekai by and large are cis male power fantasies.
I've given
cis male
myself
ruling class power fantasies.
I've given myself.
I can't say white because these are mostly written in Asian countries.
Whatever
so ruling class.
Whatever the type 2 diabetes of manga is, I've given to myself.
Yes. This is me treating you as the straw man of reasons I don't like Isekai, and this is me going, see people, this is when you take too much on it. You're just constantly taking in shit
it's
misogyny.
not just Isekai.
I know it shows up in other places. You are correct. I'm soapboxing very hard right now.
You're right. It
this
probably is
explains
because
why it's like you have taken in too much of this in non-funny
much.
forms, and I don't. And
Yeah.
the few times that it shows up, I go, "This is why I hate this thing." So why, when it showed up here and was like funny and clever and absurd about it, even if it did still do the thing that is the thing of when you do those, I laughed. It was there was an actual setup and a punchline involved in it. There was a comedic vibe to what was going on. Like I would like to see if the delivery in the anime matches what it is in my head.
Yeah.
To see if I read the situation in the way that the author intended, because comedy is a thing that's not always how that works. Or if even the director of the anime read it in the same way that I and the writer did or did not.
Yeah.
Intrigue, the hammer, the fact that he has a ring that gets him TK powers. Does he get more powers? Does he just get bigger TK?
Oh, man. If it does like the classic Shonen thing, there's going to be more powers later, but it doesn't necessarily need to be doing that. So it could just be his telekinesis it gets stronger.
Yeah. I want to see if we can brainwave for a second. What did his powers remind you of something we've seen recently? Not in a manga.
Oh.
It's an anime we've been watching recently. It's a very small number of things. What anime are we watching?
I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about Vigilantes.
Yes.
But I don't think we've met anybody yet who just floats stuff around.
It still makes me think of Crawler, because you can use his TK to essentially like float, and there's a part where you see it on like multiple of his limbs at the same time when he's flying through the sky, and it made me think of that.
Oh, I didn't think he ever was floating.
Who? Crawler?
Yeah.
No, he's essentially floating above the ground. That's how he's able to slide. Is that not how that works?
I didn't think so.
Oh, I always thought that's how it worked. It's what made me think of it.
Well,
Whatever,
I mean,
not
that
important.
might be what's going on, but
Yeah.
I didn't think any of the times where he was
I guess I do have
falling-
other subtle situations.
Because he always falls into trash bags.
Yeah,
There's
no,
so many piles of
I know,
trash bags in that city.
They're not doing well. They got a drug problem.
It's a good thing there are.
Yeah. The Punisher needs to fall into them.
I do remember Deku's mom has short-range telekinesis.
You're going to say trash.
She might use it to clean up.
I forgot about that. I don't know. Okay, let's get back on track. Story. I feel like I would need to go further than the first two chapters to go, how long is the hero going to deny the hero's journey? And how much of that is the bit?
Yeah. Because
like, when is the first time, like, I'm sure we're going to fight. I feel like we're more in my realm than yours. Like, other teens are going to be fighting for the mages. Or not, well, I guess they're not teens. Young adults. That's what I wrote in the summary, young adult. Because it's not just going to be these weird golems. Like, we're going to see actual people, and I think it's always, again, maybe this is me cribbing specifically from Zatch Bell notes, where it's like,
well, no,
I mean, maybe that wasn't always young people per se. It was a wide range of ages, which I appreciated. That was neat.
That's definitely the vibe that I got out of it, is that it's going to do sort of that classic shonen thing of there's this big organization, we're going to go through different people, we're going to get stronger and all that. I would think
but it's
biggest
that mid 2000s.
difference,
It's the Zatch Bell. It's the Shaman King.
Yeah.
There's this big tournament going on. There's other people. Like, it's not a bureaucratic thing. It's a lot more magic-y, wibbly wobbly.
Yeah. But I would think
even if that conceptually classifies under it, it gives it a different vibe of what's going on and the bounds of what could be happening at any given moment.
I think the biggest difference would be, I feel like this one is going to be much more liberal in the adult jokes than those series would ever be.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the actual original Japanese for Zatch Bell for Parco Fulgore's song? Do you even know who Parco Fulgore is?
You showed me that before.
I've talked to you about it.
And that's the thing.
I'm
It's like,
so flabbergasted by that.
It's not that the shonen series never did anything that was a little risky.
It might be more. Do you think this is going to be a running bit?
It'll be more frequent. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I felt that, but I guess they did it twice in a really particular setup, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it happened more, but I feel like, I don't know.
Well, and
right.
I'm not saying
it's
it's just going to be panty shots.
No, but
just
like they would do more jokes like that.
Yeah.
That would be afforded them in a more seinen series, which this is technically.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the lizard? We haven't talked about the lizard at all.
I think that's a cute concept.
I'm entertained by him.
I really hope that he's not a person that was turned into a lizard. I really just want him to be a regular lizard
who's
also
just
like, I'm a knight now.
Do you think he can do stuff? No, he was a knight before. I guess he's still a knight.
He's definitely got some kind of power because he chucked him out the window and then he came back.
I love the gag where you just chuck him out. Like I said, it's freaking Barney Gumble. It's like he's already inside by the time you turn around.
Yeah.
He was just there the whole time. You didn't throw him out at all.
But what the extent of those powers is, I don't really have a guess.
I don't know. He's got comedy powers. He can do it because it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually true, but I just love saying that.
Looney Tunes powers.
Yeah, exactly. Art. The art was solid. That was also a thing that helped me place the time period it was in a way that I couldn't go, oh, this particular, like, oh, they're drawn like this or this. It was just like my body just told me uncontrollably that it's like this is a early to mid 2000s piece.
It's sort of unmistakable.
Yeah. But why like not really shade thrown, but you even worse than me of like neither of us are artists and could describe particular details. But like we both picked up on that by visually. But it's like,
well, as I said, I've said this a couple times, but specifically I said it in the initial D episode that we recorded before this, which might come out after this. Who knows?
Who knows? Confusing. We're learning, people.
I have an eye for detail, even if
you don't look at it.
I don't particularly
don't
care.
Always use them.
Like I pick up on stuff.
True. Yeah.
And so, although I say that, but I don't think this was a case of me picking up on details. It was more
this
like
is instinctual.
Yeah.
Because if it was detail, you could go, I have evidence that I could state, and it's like
and
I have no evidence I can state.
I've consumed all that stuff.
My evidence is that both of us, unprompted, felt that very strongly reading this.
It's Naruto. It's Bleach. It's
Zatch Bell. It's Law of Uki.
I mean,
it's another thing that I can't think of right. Shaman King.
Basically, everything that you can think of that started coming out in the early 2000s is like it's got this
vibe.
There's similarities in the art. They're not necessarily like it's the same thing, but it's like it's close enough that you can go like, oh, the rounded faces and sort of the soft clothing and it's like you can tell.
Are we starting to do digital and you think that's why lines are smoother? If that's even what's happening, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Because I feel like computer.
You definitely would have. Yeah, early 2000s.
Computer edited manga is not going to be like early computer.
Wasn't there a thing? Was it
computer
Naruto
animated
where it was like he started doing it with pencil and then shifted over to computer?
Very possible, because I feel like that computer, not generated, but like computer edited and drawn manga, digitally drawn manga, I don't think stood out as much and has aged a lot better than like early computer done anime has like a really particular look that I'm like, I'm sure people have nostalgia for. I might have a little bit, but I remember at the time, and sometimes when you look back on them, they look not good because they're still figuring it out, you know? And I'm not even talking about CG, which has its own little set of pitfalls of like CG in anime used to look god awful. And sometimes
it still does a lot of times.
But sometimes it looks incredible.
Every once in a while.
Did you see that freaking the new Arc System Works game that they made the Guilty Gear games that look like 2D but they're 3D and they look incredible? They're making a Marvel fighting game now and it looks incredible.
Though, to be fair, even some of the shovelware that I've seen recently, the CG in it has been pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I think...
A rising tide raises all boats.
Yeah, I think it's just generally speaking, they're getting pretty good at doing CG in anime.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's still pretty janky.
But I guess my point is, like, around this time anime-wise, which I guess is why I'm happy this anime came out so much later than when the manga came out, it can look... That turn-of-the-century look looks a lot worse because it's them having not figured out the situation and the
Sometimes CG in the exact same episode looks good in one situation and bad in the other.
Correct.
I'm
not talking about CG though. I'm literally just talking about instead of ink and paper of computer.
I was just going down a thought line.
I guess we said what happens next. More of, less of. I'm intrigued. It's a strange setup. The fact that it's like she's like, we need to stop that because I need to destroy Earth. I pitched to you when we were talking about it in the car of like, because we were like, why is it called Lucifer? I think she's Lucifer or Lucifer-esque because it's like, you can't destroy the Earth because I need to destroy it or I need to enslave it or something like that. But
I don't have a better guess.
But also, I don't know if she's supernatural or I don't know. Like, there's so much in this. It's like, I don't know, but I'm intrigued and curious. Like, because I've been entertained, so I'm on the ride. Like, I would read more of this.
It's funny because I'd heard the name plenty of times before, but I never really looked into it at all. And I had a completely different picture in my head of what this was. And then I started reading it and I looked back at the title. I was like, wait, is this?
did we talk about on podcast, or was that also in the car, about it being Biscuit Hammer? Because it was like we said, it was the name of a mage. And I feel like if we have a lizard knight, that we would have Biscuit would be the name of a dog, and like somehow there are a bunch of animals that can talk and have magical powers.
Maybe.
And maybe like those animals have like in a very Digimon-y way, or I keep just going back to Zatch Bell of different animals fell around from the mages.
Is the lizard's power to give him the ring?
I think the ring manifested.
Will the ring go away if he doesn't have the lizard near him?
He hasn't. I don't know.
Because he's had the lizard on him the whole time.
He has.
Although he did try to throw the lizard away and it immediately came back.
But it immediately came back in. That was before we learned about the ring and we wouldn't have seen it because it was a far shot. So I don't know. I think about Zatch Bell in the book. So the Momoto battle. I don't know. I'm intrigued. There's enough I'm intrigued here, and I had it fun enough. It did the One Piece thing, which is admittedly any other, like, things existed before One Piece, but I just use it a lot because I think about it in my own writing, is that it built intrigue and asked questions while also just having fun in the moment. And that's some of my favorite manga, is just we're having fun in a small picture, but we're also building big picture questions.
My fortune is yours for the taking.
I've
left it all in a giant fucking hammer.
In one biscuit. That's what the Brits call it. Tea time.
It's a cookie hammer.
It's a cookie hammer. Cookie Crisp Wizard wasn't a wizard when I was a kid. He was a burglar.
From the makers of Cookie Clicker. It's Cookie Hammer.
It's Biscuit Hammer. It's the upgrade. It's the PAL version of Cookie Clicker is Biscuit Hammer. It's a cookie clicker. Are you ready for Thinky Things and Feely Feels? I feel like we've hit everything. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about.
I was just thinking there's got to be something else in here, because I talked about how I didn't like the panty shot jokes too much. And I don't want to, like, obviously I didn't like it, but like there's so much more to this than those. And I feel like at least I glossed over a lot of that. And I don't want people to have the impression that it was like, that was the whole thing. Because it's, I mean, like you said, intrigued. I'm wondering what this world is going to do. It's got that shonen big world big thing going
but
on.
But it set things up well. Like I do want to say, of our comparison point we always go back to is like Shonen Jump chapters of just like, here's a chapter that set up its character, that set up its world, that had fun, that took its time, and it built intrigue.
Yeah.
And I think about Oter, which I've already dropped from chapter 2, instantly going, when I was just like, if chapter 2 takes its time, maybe we're good. And chapter 2 instantly just slams on the gas and goes to the next thing. It rushes off to the next thing. It does not take time to set up this flame character or any other situation. And it rushes to go add a new arc and a new character instantly. And it's like, no. I'm done. I'm already done. You've already... I said, hey, if you do this, you should do this in the next one to settle in. I'm like, it's always the first chapter can be a little quick. Second chapter, settle in. And they just actively didn't do that. And I was just instantly like, I don't care. You didn't set up the things you needed to set up anymore. I don't care. And I dropped it. And this doesn't have that problem. I am emotionally connected to what this dude's deal is, and I'm intrigued by what's going on with the world. What are these other things? How is he going to learn how to fight? What's the fucking up with this lizard thing? Who's this princess girl? Does she live next door? Have they been friends for a long time? There's just so many layers of intrigue, but also like I laughed and I had fun, and like that's what I want out of a manga. I want intrigue and I want to laugh and have fun.
Yeah.
And occasionally maybe emotional thinky moments, but by and large,
I'm glad I brought this.
I'm glad you did too, because this was one that you brought, because I said bring 2, and I brought 2, and this is one of them. Brad, what do you think he thinks and feels?
If I was reading this in 2006, I would say this is great.
Okay.
Today, I'm gonna say it's good.
You think it's good?
I think it's good.
Just to clarify, yes. Okay.
So, I guess that would mean I'm saying it's good to great. I'll give it that.
Like you're here with that, and it's like thinky things, because it's like it's a bar of just like, if you vibe with the humor, which I did, you will think it's great, but if you didn't, you won't.
Right.
And I don't think it's as many shades of gray as it can be with other things. I would agree. I think it's good to great, but more towards great than good.
Okay. Because you're still living in the past.
I forget, like, I have nostalgia for the early 2000s. Yeah. I was not, I was like, what? That's when I started like turning, I became a preteen in that time, and I got more cognizant about what media I liked and what was going on. And I grew up with an N64 and a Genesis, but the GameCube is where my like loyalties lie. When it's like, oh yes, Pikmin, of course, yes, I will always look at Pikmin. This is the hyper focus that was planted many years ago.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about it?
I'm gonna say good. Yeah, I'm intrigued enough by it to go. I'd like to see where this is going and what it's gonna do. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not going to expect too much. I'm willing to be surprised.
I think that's a good approach. I feel this is excellent. I had a grand old time with this.
Excellent.
Again, it's between like...
One we've never used before.
No. I didn't want to say fantastic. I don't know if excellent is... I think excellent is below fantastic or whatever the one is above great. I don't remember.
I think it's great and then amazing.
Amazing. Well, there you go. It's excellent.
So this is between great and amazing?
I think so.
Okay.
Where in particular is up to you, the listener, to decide how I feel, which is not how it works. I just had a really unexpectedly good time with this. I was just, like, again, I had a lot of intrigue. I liked its sense of humor. It plugged along well. Like, I'm big curious to see what happens next and what else it will do to make me laugh in a way, that this nostalgia has primed me for in a way that I wasn't aware that I had as much inside of my body that I did, but I do.
I guess my question would be, is there a limit to the nostalgia? Like, can you get overloaded by it and then go, I think I'm done with this because it ran its course?
It would need to not have other things, because it's like the nostalgia can kind of give you an initial base currency.
So like as long as the rest of the story structure is there,
it got a cash bonus to start, but it can still squander that.
For me, I think about other things that like give me nostalgia, and there's a point at which even if the thing is doing other good stuff, the nostalgia gets like overloaded, and I sort of go backwards from that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like you turn on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
it's
I
almost
said,
like it's like, okay, I was feeling good about this because it's reminiscing about this past that I enjoyed, but now there's too much past.
yeah, it hasn't. It's stagnant.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, I mean, and you know me. I'm very much somebody who hits limits quickly.
That's
So,
why I'm asking the
no,
question.
well, see, I don't know. Like, again, it literally just like I finally read last week's new chapter of like Nice Prison because I was behind, and it scratched the Bobo itch, and I had a grand old time, and I giggled at pages because it was just so like it was the thing that I wanted, and that is built out of a nostalgia. But there was never a moment where I'm like, this might run out. It's like, no, this is doing exactly what I love, and it's doing it consistently, and it's showing it from page to page, and here's the Dawn patch, and here's the this, and here's the that, and we're setting up this thing, and here's a silly moment that happened here. Like, it's pushing the buttons without just masquerading as the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is this thing in another form, and not just like, hey, remember that thing? Like, it's not wearing its skin, but it's clearly mimicking some of the moves. I don't know. This metaphor is not working.
Well,
I need more time in
to that end, this series, Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, is from then.
Yeah.
So it's less about like recreating something from the past, of the fact that it is from the past.
It is from the past that I have nostalgia for other things surrounding it, but I
Yeah.
never knew about it. It's like unearthing a little gem. You're like, oh man, I never knew about this game. I'm really excited to play this one from this era. So no, I had a grand old time with this. I would buy the first volume. I don't even know if it's available in America.
I wouldn't.
I had a feeling.
I
We?
guess I would leave it open, because if I read more chapters, which I would, whether or not I actually will,
Yeah.
but I would read more chapters. There's the possibility that by the end of, the first volume's worth of chapters, I might be like, oh, I'm so on board with this that I would buy it. But from the first chapter, no.
Do we need to duel?
I was thinking about that because we're sort of 2 spots away from each other, but I didn't go negative, and I would say fine is at the top of negative.
I feel like, I feel like you'd have an easier time saying something you liked than another thing that I didn't like.
I mean, we could have a water pistol duel if you want.
I guess. I have the hiccups now. Sorry, I drink water funny.
This is going to be easier for me because I have to say something that I like about it.
Yes.
Which I sort of
You did
have
like
already
things,
been doing that. But I have to find something new.
Yeah, and I have to find something new I didn't like.
And you have to find something you don't like. So, let's see. It
is a little frustrating, and some of this is based on how many more chapters he will be like that, but the amount that he is denying the hero's journey is a little tiresome. But that's part of like the bit of how these protect. Like, I did appreciate to roll it up into a complex. I hate hiccups. Fuck. That's what I get for eating an entire pizza and drinking water funny.
I'm going to say something negative about it, and then
I'm
immediately say something positive about it.
And then I'm going to suffer for it because I have the fucking hiccups. Like, that is frustrating. You talk. I'm done.
That's what you get for trying to backhand in a compliment.
I lose.
So I have to say something nice. Let's see. I do appreciate a good animal sidekick that like has a good level of comedy back and forth to it, instead of just like a sort of ham-fisted approach to it.
He's more than just the straight man, even though he is the straight man.
Yeah. So I think the dynamic there with the lizard, they did pretty well. The very specifically the gag of chucking him out the window, I did chuckle at that.
Anytime he holds him by the tail and the lizard freaks out,
Yeah,
because he's just a lizard, even though he's a great knight, is kind of funny. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to edit around these hiccups.
I think we need to finish because your hiccups aren't going away.
Yes. We have high nooned with water pistols, and I've lost by virtue of getting the hiccups.
It's because you tried to say something nice.
Yep.
That's what you get.
That's what I get. Brad, end this podcast so I can stop having hiccups.
You're going to have to incorporate your hiccups into the outro.
Goodness.
Well, as always, we need to thank Sugoi Mart for partnering with us. Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch. They've got all kinds of cool stuff you can't get outside Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their first order. And we want to hear from you, so hit us up on social media, which you can find the links for on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. The best place to chat with us is Discord, which you can find a link for up there. If you chat with us on Discord, I don't know where I'm going with that.
We will talk to you because we're there. I will see them.
You can also find a link to our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like getting to vote on which series we cover on heroin addiction, bonus episodes, and getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early. And, of course, we have to shout out our patrons. So, first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee, Sir Cakesworth.
I know. How dry I am. Sorry, that's unrelated. I cannot play the trumpet right now. I have the hiccups.
At our reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. At our merchant tier, we've got Imaginary Numeral. And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Last Man on Earth, Laura Carroll, and Rena. So thank you so much to all our patrons. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Brad, for doing that.
Thank you, Brad, for doing that. These hiccups are terrible. Thank you. Brad, do you see that? Up in the sky. I know you don't see it until you notice it, but you have to see it. There it is. The end of the podcast. Goodness, when you write a gag and then you got to rope somebody into it, now you look in my eye and I go, can I say it? Can I convince you? I want to do the bit when I'm introducing you. The gag that I have written down is that I go, here with my co-hosts, and there's a moment of silence as I'm thinking, and I start to say rabbit print, and you cut me off and say the line that she says during it. Because if I'm gonna say now, honestly, that gag made me laugh. It shouldn't have, but it did.
I wonder why it's called the Biscuit Hammer.
I don't know.
I wonder if we ever find out.
I have the thing, it has a different name in Japanese that is not that at all, which is more confusing. Did I spell that right? I'm looking at a name that I just do not recall.
What's the name?
The name of the lizard? Noi Crescent? Sir Noi Crescent.
Oh.
I guess that's what it is. Maybe there's a pun there.
I don't remember. I just know he's a knight.
He's just a knight. Okay, we don't put any of that in there. If it goes in, it goes after the beeps. I had trouble writing this, and I knew I was going to have trouble saying it. Amamiya UI? Amamiya UI.
I'm going to do you a favor, which I never do, and I'm going to look
what
and
have I
see
done?
because I forget.
After disappointing you.
Where is it?
Amamiya UI. I should have done Yuhai. That's way easier to say. I think it's Amamiya. Amamiya. Mario.
I can't.
It's in the doc if you're looking for spelling, unless that's not what you're looking for. Well, it's in the doc. You just got to scroll down a little ways because he doesn't introduce himself for a while. Please cut all this.
Cut whatever the hell I want.
I mean, true.
Yeah. Amamiya.
Yuhai.
Amamiya. It's probably Yuhi.
Yuhi. Amamiya Yuhi. But wait, the enemy is near. Fuck. Goodbye, everybody. That was impeccable. I didn't control it, but that was perfect.